Chris Jones, fake reported to have signed back with the Kansas City Chiefs, but it also could have been this could be a little public leverage play.
What's up, Raider Nation? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that bell so you're notified every time I drop brand new content. And please like this video. We've been trying to get to at least 200 likes and we haven't reached our goal yet. Well, Raider Nation, the NFL free agency officially begins on Wednesday. On Wednesday, players can officially sign to their brand new teams. But on Monday starts the period when these players can start having meetings and interviews with the teams. And the biggest name that I think the Raiders should keep an eye out on is Chris Jones. Now, Chris Jones has been linked, of course, to the Kansas City Chiefs, but also the Las Vegas Raiders. Mike Garafolo of the NFL Network suspects that the Raiders are going to make a very big, strong move to acquire Chris Jones. Now, Chris Jones was one of the big factors why the Kansas City Chiefs were able to repeat as Super Bowl champions. He wanted an extension last year and he never got it. He had to hold out all of the offseason last year and he eventually got a raise, but he never got that extension that he was asking for. Me personally, I would give him. I know exactly that he's going to want big money this upcoming year. Right now, Justin Matabuke from the Baltimore Ravens just got a $98 million contract to make him the highest paid defensive end, coming out around $24 million a year. That's what's going to cost to get Chris Jones. Right now, Maxx Crosby is making north of $20 million per year, so you know Chris Jones is going to want that type of money. I personally would throw the bag at this guy. I think we have to absolutely bring in Chris Jones to this Raiders team. Right now, the Raiders don't have that much depth on the defensive line. Yes, we have Bilal Nichols, Matthew Butler, Adam Butler. We have Tyree Wilson, Malcolm Koonce, Maxx Crosby. But Maxx Crosby is really our only big playmaker on that defensive line. If we were to bring in Chris Jones, I believe Max will take his game to a whole new level. Why? Well, he takes the majority of double teams and triple teams. He already plays 98% of the snaps. Why that is? Because we have no other dogs on that defensive line. Yes, I know Malcolm Koonce is starting to become a good player, and so is Tyree Wilson, but the jury's still out on Tyree. I believe he's going to have a great second season. Last year, when he was drafted, he missed OTAs because he was hurt. He was recovering from a knee surgery, from leg surgery. So I believe Tyree Wilson is going to take a giant leap next year, just as most rookies do. Most rookies get a hell of a lot better come their second season. But I would not rule out Chris Jones to the Raiders. I think the Raiders have to go after this guy. It's been far too long since the Raiders have had a great defensive lineman. We haven't had an interior pass rusher since the guys of Tommy Kelly. You know, we absolutely have to go after this guy. I believe the Chiefs are going to try to re-sign him. Chris Jones came out with a tweet this week saying KC ... and he also posted an hour-long voice call. Who was he talking to? Maybe some Kansas City front office person. He also posted a picture of Andy Reid tackling him after they won the Super Bowl. So my thought is that in his heart, he wants to return to the Kansas City Chiefs. He's already won 3 Super Bowls with the Chiefs. He doesn't want to change teams, but if the money isn't right, he's going to have to leave, and that's where I believe the Raiders will come in. Antonio Pierce wants dogs on his team. He wants to build this defense as great as possible, and I believe if we bring in Chris Jones, he will be the missing piece to our front seven. Don't get me wrong. I believe we still need a corner. We still need another linebacker. I don't believe Robert Spillane and Devin Diablo are a finished product. I think we need to add to those guys. Now, as far as the Chiefs placed a franchise tag on L'Jarius Sneed. That frees up some money for Chris Jones, and they also relieve MVS. They're not bringing back him, and Patrick Mahomes' contract is set to take even a bigger chunk next year. He's going to take a lot of salary from the cap. So I believe there's just a little bit of wiggle room for Chris Jones to return to the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, is he going to give the Chiefs a discount? I don't believe so. It's not in these players' DNA anymore to give up some money to stay with their team. Just look at Josh Jacobs. He wasn't willing to take less money last year. He wanted a contract extension, which starts to make me think that he just might not be back in the silver and black next year. Like I said, guys, if we were to bring in Chris Jones, I believe Maxx Crosby will end up having his best career that he's had yet. But we have to bring in this guy. He's going to want the bag, and I believe we have enough cap space to give him fair enough money. Now, the Raiders aren't going to be the only team going after Chris Jones. The Raiders right now have the 10th most cap space available. Who knows who the other teams are now willing to go after this guy. He is a generational talent. You know, he had more than 10 sacks last year. That's really unheard of for defensive tackles to get that many sacks. And if you watch his tape, he could play on the outside. They put him at the defensive end, and he was still being able to get to the quarterback. This guy is fast. He's twitchy. He can throw linemen around, which makes me think that if we were to bring in him, Maxx Crosby wouldn't be getting double teamed as much. He would be having a breakout season next year. Right now, Maxx Crosby doesn't get enough respect. Yes, he gets talked about how he has a high motor and he's relentless. But if he was given respect, why didn't he get any MVP votes last year? He didn't get a single Defensive Player of the Year award vote last year. Yes, he got invited to go to the NFL honors as one of the candidates to get the award, but he didn't even receive not a single award. That is blasphemy, guys. How can a player of his caliber that plays 98% of the snaps, has over 15 sacks year in and year out, is the cornerstone of our defense, and he doesn't get any recognition? I would like to believe it's because he's a Raider. The Raiders have always been dogged for many years, and we have never been given our respect. But if we were to bring in Chris Jones, I believe our defense will take our step to another level. We were already able to corral Patrick Mahomes last year in Kansas City without him. Now imagine if we were to get Chris Jones onto this defense. I believe this defense will take another step forward. Like I said, Raider Nation, I believe Chris Jones is one of the missing pieces that we need on this Raiders defense. Like I said, we also need a cornerback and a linebacker, which there are plenty of said players going to be available this free agency, but our top target has to be Chris Jones. Now, I believe he just might sign with the Kansas City Chiefs, but if he does not sign, the Raiders absolutely have to throw the bag to him. Make him the highest paid defensive tackle in the league. Shoot, why the hell not? So that does it for this video, Raider Nation. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel. Do you think we should throw the bag after Chris Jones, or should we hold our money and put that money somewhere else? Maybe on the offensive line, or go get a corner. And until next time, Raider Nation, peace.